Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the URC, and yet again, another match involving a South African side taking on another in a South African derby. This one, a rematch of a game that we saw just last week, and in that contest, it was definitely not the result that some people were picking. Looking through, it was 38 points to 14 in favour of the Lions. The Sharks were flat in that game, but with a couple changes that they've made here, I do believe that they will be able to bounce back big time and hopefully get back on the right track. Looking through at the way that the table sits, as you can see there, the Lions, after their win last week, move up to 28 points and also find themselves in ninth. A win here would push them towards that top four, depending on how much of a win. If they were able to replicate what they did last week, that should get them right up into that fifth place position. We'll have to wait and see how this one goes. The Sharks, they are starting to have a little bit more of a gap between them and the Bulls, who are sitting in third, so that is definitely something to also watch out for as this competition does progress. But looking through at the starting lineups, first of all, that is Ireland. That is not quite the match that we are at this point. Sharks, Oxnashire, Bungi Umbanambi, and Vincent Koch as the front row. Jason Jenkins alongside Emil van Heeren, starting in at 5 with Pepsi Buthelezi, Peter Labaskachny, and Sia Khaleesi as the number 8. Grant Williams and Jordan Hendrickse will make up the 19 channel, with Francois Fenta and Lorenzo Julius in the midfield. Ethan Hooker, Yapinke, and Immelman comes in as the number 15 for the Lions. Starting lineup pretty similar to what we saw last week in their successful win over the Sharks. Schoolman, PJ Botha, and Nalabakanye in the front row. Schoolman and Landsberg in the locking duo, with Keynes, Kwama, and also Frankie Horn as the number 8. Morne Vandenberg alongside Lombard. That was a combination that worked very nicely last week. It will be in the midfield, Marius Lowe alongside Manuel Ras, and then Edward van der Merwe, Richard Creel, and then Mathura at number 15. So that is the starting lineup for both of these sides. We have got there afternoon. Hamish from a hot, sizzling Cape Town. Feels like 33 degrees at the moment. Tell you what, that is very warm, Roof. And it's such weird weather at the moment for some of you guys in South Africa. One day it's absolutely pouring, like it was last week. And then the other, it is extremely warm. So it just seems like it doesn't know what it wants to do. We have got Caitlin in the chat. It said hello. Welcome back, Caitlin. It is great to see you. It's been a little while, but hopefully you have been keeping well and you've been enjoying a little bit of rugby every once in a while. I'm here again from Clarence, says Michael. Welcome in. And also we have got there, Kia ora Hamish, says Matthew. Hope you are doing well. But the first of 3 games that we are covering in a row on the channel. And then, of course, the second, a massive clash in the Six Nations, France versus Ireland. The match that's going to be extremely entertaining. And then just to top it all off, we've got Wales versus Scotland taking place that little bit later. Greetings from Mauritius, Hamish, says finding fun. Welcome in. But yeah, do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. Can the Sharks fire back from what we saw last week? And the thing is, it's a very short amount of time to adjust. They've had 7 days to think about it. And it would have stung for the first little while, but now they have to look at this game as how can we make improvements and, how can we get back on the winning track? Like I mentioned, they are in 4th at the moment, but the gap between them and the side in 3rd is ever increasing. As South Africa playing in the Six Nations? They are not, but they are playing in the URC, which has taken place beforehand. And 12:54 to you, Kiwi lads. Hi, everyone. Says Spider Mick. Welcome in. And it's still 32 degrees in Melbourne and nearly 11 p.m. Yeah, so it's pretty hot for you guys in Australia as well, by the sounds of it, although some terrible weather, so hopefully you guys are all keeping safe too. It's like a heat wave for months now, no sign of rain. I'm wetting my garden, it's dry. Says Ruth. That's the thing, like, it's just, and then all of a sudden you'll get a torrential downpour, I would say, in the near future, hopefully, so that your garden can keep on thriving. Had a lot keeping going on, get me off these streams, hospital, selling my house, etc. But I am back. Well, hopefully everything has worked out for you, Caitlin. And either you or whoever was in hospital is feeling a whole heap better. But it is great to see you back. Hopefully you do feel nice and welcome with the people who are here. I know that you've gotten along with quite a few of them in the past. Happy Rugby Day, everyone, says Jimbo. And come on, Lion, says Spider Mick. Let's hope Lions can do some prowling today. Watch out for those Sharkies, says Ruth in there as well. But we are only sitting about 5 minutes away from the start of this contest, ladies and gents, which is very exciting. Just like all of the rugby that will be happening today. We did see the Waratahs manage to get themselves the win over the Western Force, so that was not the fourth upset of the round of Super Rugby, but already we've seen Moana beating the Hurricanes. We saw the Chiefs getting beaten by the Fijian Roar, and the Blues getting beaten for the first time in 12 years at Eden Park by the Brumbies. So certainly a big upset in the round of rugby. Who is playing in the Six Nations? How many games is there? So there will be 2 matches of the Six Nations that we are covering. First of which is going to be the matchup between Ireland and France. And honestly, like, if you're looking for a main event of the weekend, that can certainly be just that. And then the other game that is happening is Wales versus France. Wales versus Scotland, I should say. Different team with blue. So, yeah, I'm very curious to see the implications of that one because, you know, theoretically, like I said, if you're looking at it from a completely neutral point of view, you'd want France to beat Ireland, and then you'd want England to win with a bonus point. That way, 3 sides could be on 15 points heading into the final round, and every single game means something, which is the best case scenario for us watching from a neutral perspective, but a lot of people want to see the Irish once again get that grand slam, so we'll have to wait and see how it ends up going. My cats are wearing sunglasses and suntan lotion. Those are very intelligent cats, Ruth. I don't know what you've taught. Well, I know that you've taught them how to wear sunglasses for one. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. See whether or not you can teach them any new skills. Maybe you can teach them how to water the garden, and then you take out the middleman. You're just straight into getting that kind of going. I should mention, I got to quickly go like this and like this as well. Yeah, hoping to get the coverage of this game, but of course TVNZ sometimes don't play ball, and it looks like they have yet to put that they are doing it. I missed you too, Hamish, says Caitlin. But yeah, we certainly missed you on the channel. I'll be honest, like a few of these Sharks games, we've been, I don't know whether it sounds sad or good, but we have been waiting to see your name pop up every once in a while. Yeah, third game. Well, second and a half game that we have done of the rugby today, ladies and gents, because we did do half of the Fijian Roar matchup when it did take place. We have got their Lions to continue their run and win by 2 scores, says Jimbo. Hamish, you're simply brilliant. I'm going to do that. Hold the gun nose. There you go. You know, it's just all about finding little jobs for the cats to, I guess, keep them busy. Well, I'm sure that they would much rather sleep. I've heard cats absolutely love that. I'll just look earlier on. Where was it? Someone said it was being shown in Ireland on, was it TG4? Was that the one? Yeah. Game is live on TG4 here in Ireland. So I'm going to have to try and set myself to Ireland because that might be the only way to be able to watch it from my location. So we'll get that hopefully sorted relatively quickly. We have got their Lions in question, which is the biggest upset for the weekend. Brumbies beat the Blues, Moana beating the Canes, or Drua beating the Chiefs. Honestly, all 3 of them are absolutely huge and could easily be upset of the weekend. But, like, I feel like they all have their own significance, if that makes sense. Like, honestly, all 3 of them are such substantial wins and all thoroughly deserved as well. That's the other side of things. Pick one. Okay. I would say Moana Pacifica beating the Hurricanes, just because of what it really meant for that Moana Pacifica side. I mean, we saw Artie Savi almost in tears after the game because of the work that he's done for this Moana Pacifica side. And you also just have to look at it from the other side of things as well, which is Fiji at home. Even though, yes, it's still the upset, but they are actually a good side at that ground. They've won 7 in a row there. So for them to not be picked almost seems, you know, a bit wrong. But then also for the Brumbies to beat the Blues where they did, that's a pretty big one too. If I watch you, it's my best weekend, says Mohadin. Thank you very much, mate. That is extremely high praise from yourself and greatly appreciated. I am just going TG4, T4G, one of the two, I believe it was. We're going to turn Irish here so that we can watch this game hopefully smoothly. Hamish, do you think is top rugby school in the world? Honestly, I'm probably not the best one to ask. But I mean, it's always debated whether it's in New Zealand or whether it's in South Africa. I've got the game. I'm very excited now. I'm really glad that that was on mute as well, or else I could have just got myself banned. And that would have been a rough start to the day. But this is fantastic. Whoever mentioned about TG4, I do appreciate you very much. Richard, you are a legend, as I've actually managed to get it up on my iPad. Now I'm in the situation, are we going to have enough charge to get us through the day? I think we will. And I think if we don't, it's fine. We're on 29%. Hopefully it will be enough. Maybe at halftime I'll go and get a charger. It was the Piles boy, hi, says Anthony. And come on the Sharks, listen to you. I'm watching it here in Ireland. Yep, it's on TG4. It certainly is. And it's crystal clear, which is fantastic to see. As it could have been a lot worse, and maybe we could have ended up missing the game. And hi, Ruth, says Caitlin in there too. It's like having the gals back together. I guess I don't think I count as one of the gals though. Maybe, not quite. And come on, Sharks, listen to you, says Craig. And also we have got there. Good evening. A ham from BNE, currently getting pounded by the cyclone. Worst ever weather I've experienced in my whole life. Well, please do stay safe. Hopefully you keep power and it doesn't end up cutting completely out. Whereas the game today, this game has taken place in Durban. So last week it was actually at Emirates Airline Park, but instead now they get themselves the home game this time. Low traffic on TG4, always good feed. Yeah, it's like, honestly, the quality is a lot better than I thought it would be. I prefer to be the future missus, but I'll deal with one of the groupies, says Caitlin. You are far too smooth, Caitlin. I have to give you a lot of credit for that. Luckily, I'm already red from slightly getting sunburned, so you can't tell that my cheeks are changing colour. See, I'm not as smooth. That sounded a bit weird. Which cheeks? The face ones. What you having for tea, Roof, says Spider Mick. That's a great question. Hopefully something nice. She normally, what does Ruth have on a weekend? She normally, well, we've got her breakfast down on lock. We haven't got the dinner sorted though. These two sides just having a moment of silence before we get underway for this match. We have got the Canes are the first team to lose twice to Moana. And good afternoon, night, mate, says Flesh. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing extremely well. I am watching on TG4, T4G. I think it was TG4 for this one. Just checking, says Yarn. All that construction work is working as tradies gets the ladies, says James Martin. Most TG4 content is in Irish. I hope you get English commentary. Honestly, I've got it on mute. Like, I won't know what's happening for the TMO side of things. What time does it start? It was supposed to be starting at 1, but they are looking at about 1:05 for the kickoff of this contest. We are just seeing Yapinke there, as well as Bongi Umbanambi. So yeah, if anyone's wondering why I'm looking down rather than looking up like I normally would look over there. I'm looking down here today. That is because we're watching on an iPad. And currently we've still got 29% percentage. Double percentage there, so she'll be right, hopefully. We'll make it through. But yeah, I might have to go get a charger at halftime. Pasta a la Hamish with extra cheese and ham. Nice. Right, the Sharks kicking off from right to left, ladies and gentlemen. And it will be Jordan Hendrickse to start us off. An important game for the Sharks, like I mentioned. They want to fire back, and that is going to be kicked off high. So hopefully we'll get the scoreboard going. There we go, beautiful. 30 metres out from their own line here. The Lions have got position, and Morne Fundenberg will roll it back. Hamish, I'm so delighted that Caitlin is here with me as groupie moral support for you. Says Ruth, I am very glad. Oh, she is here too. That's a massive knock on from Immelman. That one's gone about 15 metres forward. So a nice, easy scrum for the start of this contest. Hello, Hamish and all people, says Rhea. Welcome in, Rhea. But just goes straight through the bread basket. And we have got the come on, Lions, bets are on, says Ghetto Greg. Pack weights 902 kgs for the Lions compared to the 920 kgs for the Lions compared to the 902 of the Sharks. What does TG4 actually stand for? Like, what is the TG part? like TV guidance. Not sure. Let me know, anyone who is from Ireland and know the abbreviations. Now, it's going to be fed in by the Lions. No, the ball's still out. He's decided not to put it in. I don't know what happens there. I don't even think the referee decided that he could put it in. Already 90 seconds down in this contest. It's going to go very quick. You won't be able to watch it on TG4. It's only in Ireland. I am watching it on TG4 at the moment. I've got a VPN on. So I've set myself to Irish for today. I'm in Dublin. Ow, did you guys hear that crack of the wrist? And Gaelic says, Fleshin. Yeah, I'm not actually sure what the commentary's sitting at. Oh, sorry. No, you're saying television game. It could be. Maybe. That's our best bet anyway. I think it's better than television guidance, like I said. I don't think the Lions sleep tonight, the morning rather. Please get some extra chocolate for me, Ruth. Says Caitlin. Now off to the right-hand side. Morne Vandenberg. Chance here in the middle of the field. Mathura. Running forward hard. Oh, ending up underneath. I think it was... Oh, okay. He was underneath of Francois Fenta, but someone is down in back play. I thought it was Lombard, but he's back up now. Hello, JP. Don't cringe. Enjoy the game. Says Ruth. I actually got to run to the shop quickly. Chips, chocolate, and beer. That's... Oh, see, I've heard that beer and chocolate don't go that well together, but maybe it depends on the beer. I can't believe they would arrange a match in this heat. Unfortunately, I don't think at the time that they scheduled it, they realised how warm it was going to be. But yeah, complete opposite of what we saw last week. Volume seems to be a little lower than usual. I actually think that something's up with it. One moment. I'll see if I can turn it up a little bit more. But I agree. It was a little bit low. Ooh, that's a bit high. About here, maybe. Let me know if that's all right, and hopefully it's not peaking too much. But yeah, for some reason, earlier on when I checked, it was only just at the bare minimum, which confused me. And I don't know enough about technology to know why it's doing it. So hopefully it sounds all right now. If it does sound a little bit bleh, let me know, and I'll turn it down a little bit. We have got their Irish Television 4. Okay, that makes sense. And perfect volume now, Hamish, says Matthew. Now nice attack and run forward. And how's it, Hamish, says Stan? Welcome in, Stan. Lions currently on the 22. They started last week's game up against the Sharks extremely well. Does seem like that's going to be their plan here too. Attack and run forward for Cairns. Now Morne Vandenberg. Of course, people have talked about how much the importance of this game will have. Oh, that's a drop ball from Landsberg. And thanks, says Bruce. And are we hyped for the Six Nations later? Absolutely. France versus Ireland. It's going to be a very important game for both of them. Hopefully, we get to see some sort of shaping of the Six Nations. And honestly, there are two... Oh, beautiful quick hands from Sia Khaleesi. Goes out on the outside to Lorenzo Julius. Skip pass. Back across. Grant Williams. He should have enough pace. He gets round Mafura, but he scores the try anyway, and the Sharks are on the board first. Perfect start to the game. They were almost conceding down the other end, but they've managed to fire back. They've controlled it. I am having a scotch on the rocks with olives, says Rhea. And try the Sharks, says Mark. And try time, says Matthew there as well. And also the Sharks emoji, says Caitlin. Maybe you're their lucky charm, Caitlin, because you've come back and they have started... That honestly, that play there was almost better than everything they did last week. And that sounds really harsh, but honestly, it might be true. Like, they did really struggle. Maybe it's also because Grant Williams, he's back in the starting lineup. That helps quite a bit. But good start to the match. 5 minutes in. And Jordan Hendrickson now lining up the kick. And Rhea, enjoy tasty, says Ruth. Sharkies are already ripping it, and that one's gone away to the side for Jordan Hendrickson. But 5 minutes in, 5-0 in their favour. Great start to the match for the home side. Because honestly, if they played like they did in their away game at home, the crowd might turn against them a little bit. So that's exactly what they needed. Hang on, this game isn't even listed on the URC on the wiki. It's actually a catch-up game, which is why there's a little bit of confusion. It's supposed to have happened... I think it was actually either the first round or the second round that this game was actually supposed to be a part of, maybe even a little bit later. It was actually around the time of the Curry Cup. So that is why there's a little bit of confusion about when this game was happening and if it was. But yeah, it's another one of the catch-up games for the South African sides. Who do you think wins out of Ireland or France? Honestly, like for me, it's right down the middle, 50-50. I think that for Ireland to be able to win, they have to really muscle up in that forward pack up against a huge French pack for this contest. And for France to win, they just have to do what they did up against the Italians, minus the conceding about 30 points. Monty, mate, can't wait for the French game. And maybe Grant. There's enough luck to go around if you're looking for a charm. Says Caitlin. Very smooth, once again. I have to give you credit there. Scrum feed here, once again, for the Lions. I think they have the ball. What was I saying? Hendrickson must have done what, or mustn't do what Bowden did, miss conversions, and also hurt his hand. So, yeah, Hendrickson, hopefully he will have hands that work at the end of this contest and doesn't need a review of them. Frankie Horn going after Morne Vandenberg, scooped him behind. Lombard goes to Mafura. He goes himself and he scores. Yes, he does. Just made it over. And that is a brilliant answer from the Lions. I think we're going to get a high-scoring game here. Of course, last game was affected heavily by the weather. This one is going to be affected in a different way with how hot it is. Zimbabwean Matfura scores the try, and Bulls can't lose this weekend. That is true. Hendricks are poor there, said Jimbo. He just held back a little bit, didn't he? Just ended up... Or, to be fair, I think we're being a bit harsh on him. Like, he initially had to try and make a tackle on a guy running through, and you could even argue it was obstruction, because the guy did run through in front of the man with the ball. But then from there, he was always playing catch-up. Charming Hamish is fabulous again. Need to run quick, keep my seat warm. I'll be back, says Ruth. At Lions, come on, let's go, boys. Pull it through. And at least today, the load shedding doesn't coincide with the Six Nations here in Wellington anyway. Lions try, says Bruce. Now 8 minutes into this contest. And the kick is good from Lombard. So that will give them the lead. He knocked it on. Giving the scrum, that wasn't good from him, to be fair. The early part, you're doing the Irish game, Hamish, please do it. We are going to do it, Dennis. And we're not only going to do that, we're going to double it. And we're going to do, that would have been a perfect chance for a Dublin pun, but couldn't quite get it out. And we're going to do Scotland versus Wales straight afterwards. Which you may or may not care about much, but, every point's crucial. If we did end up seeing... Scotland, if they won their game, if the Irish were to lose to France, then they're also slightly in the running for the Six Nations. Everyone's going to have a go. Or Ireland are going to win and shut the comp down before we get to the last round. Caitlin, look after Hamish while I'm gone, says Ruth. And Bear coming along nicely, young man. Go the Sharks, says Stan. I'll be honest, I've slightly given up on the beard. If it grows, it grows. The mustache goes... These side bits just don't, sadly. But we're working on it. Hopefully one day. We're having rain here in Ireland. It's heading down south, so it might reach South Africa for the second half, says Pieman. And we have good there, thanks so much. You made my day, mate, says Dennis. I am glad to hear it. Yes, ma'am, says Caitlin. Now on the halfway line, the Lions. Defending here, Grant Williams goes for the little kick in behind. I can't believe we're already 10 minutes in. Nice sit-up of the ball for Mafura. He'll go on the outside to Edward Vandermerwe, who's going to be in a bit of a foot race with Yapinke. He's put it out. But it does bounce into touch. I'll be pissed by the Wales game. Says Fleshin. Well, he scored the try for the Lions. It was Mafura in that number 15 jersey. Had a really good season last year too. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Wales go up against the Scottish, just to see whether or not they do, find that next level. Like they did at times up against the Irish. And same Fleshin, says Jimbo. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot of drinking going on for that first matchup. Perhaps a few nervous ones. Now, Bongi Umbanambi back in the starting lineup. Spider-Meka said Caitlin up to. I love using up to as like a greeting. Although I use it as one word normally. Oh, great stepping from Marius Low, but they will go back for an initial stoppage. He thought he was in, though. Wales going to get a win today, says Ghetto. And I hope Wales get their first win, says Matthew. Because who do they play in the last round? They must have England last round of the competition. So there's a bit on the line. Like, honestly, I really hope it comes down to the last round, but that also means that Ireland have to sacrifice a win for the greater good of the comp, because more than likely they'll win the comp anyway, because they're facing Italy in the final round. But, if it makes it that little bit closer, I'm a happy man. Can Leicester be caught? Have they automatically qualified for the quarters? I think that from where we are at the moment, 57, I don't think they're dropping out. Honestly, I don't think they're dropping out of the top 4, let alone the top 8. So they should have a home quarterfinal no matter what. The Lions now with Immelman moving up to 30 metres out from the line. Now Emil van Heeren has to play halfback. Now the word on Eben Etzebeth is it does seem like, he's going to be out for a little bit longer, but they are hoping he's back for international rugby at down to. Listen and watch this brilliant commentator, says Caitlin. Up to, down to. I've never replied with the down to, but that might have to be a thing. Now off to the left-hand side, PJ he's showing a little bit of the stepping skills. Umbanumbi with the counter-ruck. Hendrickse picks it up. Lorenzo Julius going for the kick in behind. Nalabakanye tries to claim it, but Pepsi Butalesi is the man who ends up with it. Now Oxlade goes off to Julius on the outside. Immelman goes to Yapinke. How quick can these guys make passes? 5 metres out from the line. And the penalty goes the way of the Lions to slow it down that little bit. I need to be first. It's actually warm. So a first outside drink, says Fleshin. And still cold here and spit and rain. Aviva might be greasy, says Jimbo. Who does that benefit? I feel like it probably... I do think a slippery ball is, I want to say better for Ireland, but it could also be better for the French, just because both of the sides know how to score tries. And that's the exciting thing. Still cold here and spit and rain. I just read that, didn't I? Sorry, the brain's still warming up. Wales and Lions on the bet card. A mere €15 to 212. That's a hefty profit right there if it comes off. Do you like the colour red by any chance, Ghetto Greg? I know that is the main colour of both of their kits. The Lions, they are currently up by 2. Got a line out on their own 22. Nicely claimed. Morne Vandenberg. He's going with the sniping run. That is a huge amount of space. Trying to link up with Frankie Horn, but he'll go himself. Stepping here. He's got all of the Lions players retreating or running alongside him. Manuel Russ has to play halfback. This is such a quick backline movement. Richard Creel, the pass goes behind him, which makes it challenging. Jordan Hendrickse. Ball's been popped up, goes through the legs of Landsberg, and not enough aggressiveness from the Lions, which leads to the Sharks back with the possession. Hi, Hamish and everyone. Hope all are well. A bit late to the party. What did I miss, please? Says Lilia Beast. So the Sharks scored the first try in the 5th minute. Then from there, the Lions pretty much answered straight back with one of their own. And it's just been that kind of day that it's just gone as a seesaw. It's now going to be a scrum feed for the Lions, but they almost had a counter-attacking try about 90 metres made throughout that play. So it's going to be a day of about 1,000 running metres for both sides by the looks of it. We're 15 minutes in at the moment. The iPad has only gone down 4% in that time, so doing the maths, it should last. Legend UR says David Simon White. And Hamish, your legend, how are you? I'm doing very well. Very excited for today's rugby. Like, this game, for me, is a pretty awesome one because we get to see the rematch of a game last week. We get to see those adjustments being made. Then we go into the Six Nations, bit of international rugby, which has a lot of implications alongside it. And then, we got Wales versus Scotland as well for the second game. Bit of rugby in the afternoon with Crusaders versus Reds. Tomorrow night, we're going to be back with England versus Italy. So, there's a lot on. A great day for rugby, some exciting matches, says Ghetto. And we've already seen some upsets in Super Rugby as well. We saw Moana Pacifica beat the Hurricanes. We saw Fiji and Roa beat the top of the table Chiefs. And we saw the Brumbies beat the Blues at home. So, yeah, she's been busy. I really hope the Sharks can do something more today, says Cubis. And yeah, already, like, we've seen drastic improvements from last week, and maybe it is to do with the starting lineup. Of course, a lot less of those Springboks coming off the bench and instead starting in this contest. Morne Vandenberg, 25 metres out, inside ball. Lions, when they have a counter-attack, they are looking phenomenal. Matfura almost going through, but tackled by the big man, Oxnische. Now in behind, Landsberg goes to Marius low, skip pass. It didn't look like the best one, and it has drifted forward, so we will get another scrum, this time the feed for the Sharks. The under 20 French side looks pretty good. Last night in Cork, says Dennis. And our under 20 team are poor this year, says Jimbo, for the Irish, that is. And the French under 20s looked scary last night, still looked dominant even when they were down to 12. How'd they get down to 12? I didn't actually see that one. I assume it was just repeat infringements, maybe, or someone might have clotheslined someone, or maybe even a punch-up if they're down to the 12 men. I really hope that France-Ireland game, we don't get at all affected by any sort of, like, disciplinary problems. Would be a bit of a shame. And we need a repeat of the under-20s, France versus Ireland today, says Ghetto. And also I'm in Cavan. Fingers crossed for the rain, says Jimbo. They are just showing it is the perfect day for this contest. There is not a cloud in the sky. Completely blue, which is the complete opposite to what we saw last week where it was absolutely pouring down. Then the other game that we covered on the channel, it got delayed by about an hour and a half. We have got there, I think I have to say the French are exceptional. And the English are just that. And the rest of us are there and abouts, or abouts, says Fleshin. Who do you got, says Kid? For this game, like, the Lions are the underdog, right? But I do still think that last week matters in some regards heading into this game. So I think for momentum's sake, I would still back the Lions. But the Sharks are favourites. And honestly, they should get the win here if we're looking at the overall table. But just last week, that's got to be a massive confidence booster for this Lions side. And their counter-attack at the moment is looking superb. But Grant Williams to feed this ball in. We're down to 23% now. Definitely going to have to get that charger at halftime, I would say, just to keep it alive. Grant Williams going off to the right-hand side. Francois Fenta. Oh, that was a taking the man off the ball of Marius Low now. Immerman kicks it in behind, looking for the 50-22. It is drifting, and that is a great kick. It will be just outside Perfect Braai Day in George, Western Cape. Says Ronnie. I still need to go to a legitimate braai, don't I? If I ever end up in South Africa, or any South Africans end up in New Zealand and I meet them, how do you make it? I feel like we'd have to try and make a braai in my backyard. I think do you need bricks for the braai? Is this going to be offensive if I say it's kind of like the setup of a pizza oven, a little bit with a couple modifications? James Fenta on the bench, eager to see how he'll be doing coming back from his injury, says Lilia B. England smashed us in the opener, which led to an average tournament from us, says Jimbo. Now thrown in. Nicely taken for the Lions. They are inside of their own 22. So Morne Vandenberg tries to clear the Lions almost. Charged down by Bongi Umbanambi. Kick downfield from the Lions. I think it was offside though. I'll offer you free accommodation, mate. I'm 10 minutes away from Loftus, says Mikhail there. For the first little glimpse that I had of that, I thought you meant I read it as I'll offer you free accommodation for 10 minutes. But luckily you meant for a little bit longer than that. Is it just mandatory to have a braai in the backyard if you're in South Africa, or is it only a little bit of a luxury type arrangement? Right, it's actually going to be Bongi Manambi penalised for doing the late shot on Morne Vandenberg. The Irish have converted me to calling a braai a barbecue. Says Ghetto. Watch the match, or watch the match. While watching the match, I think that is. And fire with a steel grill above the heat. The only requirement, mate. What do they have in... There's a name for it in Brazil, which is... I can't remember what it is, but it's actually in the wall of your house. Johan is not happy. He said, F ya. Thank you, Johan. Do you have any Weber Braais in New Zealand? We have like Weber barbecues, but I've been told that there is a distinctive difference between the two. Weber Braai grill steak, water chops, Braai bordias, which I still can't say correctly, and cold beer in your set. And Naughty Bongy says Jimbo there too. It's the type of mistake that you don't want to see from a veteran player. Definitely not when you had the momentum. Forcing them deep inside of their own half. But now it's going to be the line out for the Lions. Nicely claimed. Morne Vandenberg goes across to Landsberg, puts it nice and high. This one's going to be a competitive one in the air, but Yapinke does manage to win it for the Sharks. They will now find themselves about 25 metres out from their own line. It wasn't too long ago we were about the same position out from the Lions. And another penalty. It is going to be for offside, so the Sharks, they will be able to work their way down the field. You also need to try Potgajos. Here in South Africa, Google it sometime. I feel like I absolutely butchered the pronunciation of it. I'll need some lessons on how to say South African food if I end up going. No DMs allowed. Got it? Says Caitlin. No DMs allowed. Wait, no DMs. Which one's that for? We have got the Kiwi Lads Instagram, if anyone wants to flick us a message. And if Braai starts with brandy and coke and about 11 a.m., you might eat by 8 p.m. Okay, so it's like a full day type of situation. I put $200 options for New Zealand to win by 5 wickets, Hammy. India, a good team, but anything can happen. And they do come in as the underdogs for that contest. Hot guy costs. Small pot food is a dish prepared outdoors. Looks like it's got some potatoes, some meat. It's kind of like a slow cooker meal by the looks of it, or like a slightly meaty casserole, maybe. Now inside of the 22, aka the dead account, still no posts. Yeah, but I almost posted the other day. I thought about it, but then I was like, is this post good enough? It was me and like one of those, it was on a massive chair, which when I say that, it sounds not very good for a first post, but it was like a huge chair. But I couldn't think of, I was going to use the caption like huge chair, no idea or something like that, but I didn't in the end. Google pronunciation of Putrajos. It sounds like I'm trying to say a foreign like town name. The pronunciation is Braai Bruikis. Oh wow, that's very different to what I was saying, isn't it? Hi Hamish from Durban, says Brian, welcome in. They're having a drinks break at the moment for the two teams. It's extremely warm at the moment at the game. So that is why they're just giving the players a bit of a chance to rejuvenate and have a bit of water. We might as well do the same. I don't trust this bottle. It's already tried to squirt me multiple times. Right, back into it. That was a quick drinks break. But the Lions, they have got the possession and the advantage here for the knock-on. Ayo, says Kid. It did sound a little bit innuendo-ish, didn't it? Now on the halfway line, Morne Vandenberg looks to put it in behind. I hope you got the bottled dinner first, says Caitlin. Yeah. The Lions looking able, says Jimbo. They are. They're a good side, the old Lions. And I do hope that this game stays competitive throughout, which honestly I think it's going to. Now Landsberg kicking this one towards the touchline. Emil van Heeren, chance here for him to try and get that line out steal. We tried it in the last one, but did end up playing the man. Do you see where the French brought in dodgy football players, Thierry Henry, for a pep talk, as if the French needed to know how to cheat? I did not see that, no. But that sounds interesting. I mean, maybe he's just saying do whatever you can to win. And stolen by Vincent Koch of all people has popped up with an interception. You don't normally see that from the old tight head. Now going off to the left-hand side, chance to really start charging forward. Francois Fenty has about 3 men on his left-hand side. He's going to go for the kick in behind, and Yapinka has knocked it on. A pick for the Six Nations games today. France by 9, Wales by 4, England by 20. Probably, honestly, like that England by 20 could definitely happen. Yapinka almost, not sure what that actually was, almost able to put that ball down, but not quite. Goal line dropout now for the Lions. Both of these teams, anytime they attack, it's from like 70 metres back, and they just full steam ahead towards the opposition line. I go France. I hope they beat Ireland. From a neutral perspective, it would actually be good for the comp. With the way that the table currently sits, it would mean that 3 sides, if not 4, can win the Six Nations next week. Even though, more than likely, I mean, Ireland have Italy in their last game, so they should win it anyway, but it would just add a little bit more spice to the competition. Now, stolen by the Sharks again, just a lack of ball security in the breakdown. That's actually something that the Lions did to the Sharks last week. Now the Sharks trying to give them a taste of their own medicine. Back across to the right-hand side, Jordan Hendricks, howdy, Cracker Potts, says Juan-Pierre Bosch. Oh, what a run that is from Pepsi Buthelezi, and that's well stolen by the Lions this time in the breakdown from Keynes. Kicking it downfield, Manuel Russ, it's come off the side of his boot, which means we have another line out just on around that 22-metre line, being a mulligan. No way Ireland all the way. Says Ronnie. Sharks butchered that chance, says Jimbo. Yeah, they had about a 3-on-1. They decided to go for the kick, which almost worked, but not quite to be. That Instagram will need a post soon, won't it? We've gone, how long? 3 years or 2 years of it being an account. Anyone who wants to follow the Kiwi Lads Instagram, of course, be sure to do so, even though you want... The best thing about it, ladies and gents, is you won't have thousands of pictures popping up in your feed from us. You might get one every 4 years, just like a World Cup. There you go. Anyone who wants to check it out, be sure to do so. That is the Instagram account. We'll have a look. Tell you what, flick us some DMs, as the kids would be saying. Just not very hip, but yeah, flick us a message if you're following, and we will go through the messages on there at half time. Bit of fun, bit of something different. But now 5 metres out from the line, the Sharks here. Going to be only 5 metres from another possible try. Oxnechea, well shut down for him. Grant Williams goes off to the left-hand side, almost tried to reach out. Now Williams, what way will he go? He goes off to Oxnechea again. He's had 2 chances at bulldozing his way over. We're already 26 minutes through the contest. And now off to the side, Jason Jenkins driven sideways. Grant Williams off to Mbonambi. He was crawling forward a little bit, but he is once again probably inches from the try line. Low tackle. Chopping again, but that has to be close. I think they're going to be checking this one. And it looks very hot out there, says Jimbo. In fact, no, they do give it as the try for the Sharks. Or do they? Yeah? No. Is it a try? They haven't updated the scoreboard. And no, the Lions are going to get the penalty 5 metres out. I was a little bit confused. Cringe at yourself there. Certainly did. Crawled into myself. No, that's worse than what I said before. Sorry, Brew, don't do social media. Protecting my emotional balance. Social media is an interesting one, to be honest. Like, I don't blame you. Like, the main one that we've got is YouTube. Just because it's nice. You know, it's pretty standard. Can't go too crazy on it. And rain here in Tipperary. I think I'm moving up to Dublin soon. And we have good there. I'm up to no good spending money here, says Ruth. Now on the halfway line, Grant Williams. Oh no, that's not halfway. That's like 30 metres out. I'm just making it up at this point. He will go off to Oxnechea and... Oh, the Sharks were told to use it and they took too long. So that's an interesting one. Wait, no. The Lions look like they're also not happy. Is that Richard Creel? See, normally we listen to the game with just a little bit of volume, and that gives us a rough indication of what's happening. He's getting a bit of spray in the mouth. I wonder what that does. That was for Lepis Labaskhachny. Or you'll be doing the Cheetahs game. When are the Cheetahs playing, Willem? I didn't actually know that they were playing, to be honest. If you're talking about the Challenge Cup quarters, hopefully. Dennis, take a blue tent with you to Dublin. You might fit in with the new locals, says one Pierre. And it looks very hot out there. Yeah, extreme scorcher for them in this match. Not really spotting him, says Dennis. But right, it looks like the Sharks have got themselves the scrum feed. I thought for a second they were showing a guy dealing. She's just shaking his hand, and I think she is getting a cigarette from him. What a lovely love story that is. Hello, JD, says Ruth. Yeah, scrum feed now for the Sharks. 28 minutes into this contest. And Awan says Ghetto. 1 try apiece. 4 tries will give either of these sides, or both, the bonus point, depending on how we progress in this contest. Boom, says one Pierre Bosch, and only 40 likes, says Ronnie. Yeah, anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that like button, as it is thoroughly appreciated. Hamish, you're the best, thank goodness for you, says Ruth. That's very, very high praise, Ruth. But yeah, it is great to have you all here once again. Hey, we've got a DM on the old Insta. I can't sound cool even if I try to, unfortunately. I talk fast, that's my thing. Sounding hip, just ain't it. Sorry, Cheetahs are playing today, 3 p.m, says Willem. Who are they playing, Willem? Do let me know. And true though, Juan 7 stabbing in Dublin, says Ghetto. That's going to be nicely claimed by Yapinka. Beautiful offload to Henry Immelman. Tries one to Julius. Caitlin is doing well here. Nice. Hamish is enjoying the game, says Ruth. It's absolutely flying by, this contest. We're already 29 minutes in, which is fantastic. Which does also mean that we are getting closer and closer to France versus Ireland. We will be starting that live stream in 1 hour and 23 minutes time. So anyone who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But yeah, Pinkade just reading it very well, standing pretty much in the Lions backline and saying, if you want to throw it over the top of me, I'm going to try and grab it. 11 minutes left in this first half. Sanlam Bolland. Right. Okay. I'm not sure whether or not they'll be showing that here in New Zealand, unfortunately. But yeah, the Challenge Cup quarter, round of 16, we are hoping to cover on the channel, as I do believe they are still in that competition. New Zealand has no chance against India tomorrow in the Champions Cup final. India never lost in Dubai, says Mornay. I say, man, I live in Galway. I'm truly sad for the Irish culture. You are true great people, says Juan. Now the position here for Mafura, trying to get around Lorenzo Julius, who's made a great low tackle on the halfway line. Mornay Vandenberg going for the kick in behind, looking for some territory. Chasing this one very well was Edward Vandermerwe, but it rolls into touch again. Seems like there's a bit of a downhill slope on either side at the moment. You think Harry Godfrey should make his All Blacks debut in 2025 for the ABs? Honestly, he's looking pretty good at the moment. I don't know whether or not they'd chuck him straight in the ABs environment, but now with no Harry Plummer, I guess there's that possibility that gap needs filled. But yeah, it will be very interesting to see whether or not he gets some sort of chance for the All Blacks XV, maybe, if that is going to be a team again this year. Have a point, Juan, you'll be okay, says Jimbo. And also we have got there, you like this, Chan? Hit the like button. Subscribe, guys. See, Chan's, that's like the hip way of saying channel, is it? I'm that unhip that I didn't even know that. Is your viewing screen in a different position today? It is, yes. I got set up by TVNZ, so they don't have the game, so I'm watching on my iPad, which is why I'm looking down all the time, which is possibly a little bit confusing, like for you guys who have been in a lot of these streams. But yeah, I'm watching down here rather than over there. But I will be watching over there for the Six Nations matches. Mornay Vandenberg, 9 minutes left in this first half. Shot coming in. By the Sharks defence. What is the Cheetah score now, boys? I don't think they've started yet by the sounds of it. I think they're about 20 minutes away from starting. Going to say welcome to every French fan to Dublin. You guys play great rugby. Might slag you guys off at times. Really enjoy the way we try and play the game. Win, lose this game, enjoy. So here's Dennis. Ball is here now for the Sharks. But some lovely words from yourself there, Dennis. Oh, almost a knock on from Jason Jenkins. Referee says it's gone backwards. Jordan Hendricks tries the little chip in behind. Nalabakanye went up for the high ball, but he did not get very high at all. Jordan Hendricks and PJ Bota. No, in fact, no. Who was that who got over the ball? It wasn't PJ, but they did win the penalty. How are the Black Caps doing? They are in the final up against India. That's going to be starting in around 21 hours' time. We have there. I hope I help him enjoy the games a bit more. Even if it's by turning him a shade of red, says Caitlin. Yeah, I am slightly part chameleon, I think. In terms of my face, just goes in an instant. And I don't know, even now I'm changing colour. Oh, nice run for you, Pinky. Almost. He's done very well there. He's pretty much gone for a grubber while there's a guy dragging him along. That one's going to go dead, though. And thank you. You're going to keep us updated if you can, says Toki. Yeah, so at the moment, still 5 points to 7. We saw 2 very quick tries for these two sides. And then from there, it's just pretty much stopped. But the meters haven't stopped. We've seen probably 300 plus meters for both sides. Counter attacks. Oh, it's taken back by the Lions, which does mean 5 meter scrum for the Sharks here. They will be in a good position on the park. For a chance of scoring late in the first half, mate. Don't you watch sports news, lol? I don't really watch sports news, to be fair. Like, you guys could mention another sport other than, I would say, with the exception of cricket and rugby, like random result, and I wouldn't even know if it's true, which is quite bad. Like football, I have no idea what's happening in the world of football. At the moment, are you going to watch tomorrow's final? We are going to be doing the commentary for England versus Italy, but we will be watching that game beforehand. Like, we'll watch probably the first 6 hours of it. So, we'll get to see the result during that live stream. It's well over 30 degrees here in Durban with high humidity, difficult conditions. And yeah, which is why we saw that drinks break. Or else the players, I mean, they are still struggling as it is. I can watch the game on TV, but I find it more interesting to watch you and start bantering in the chat. It's pretty awesome that people do choose this one, because you're almost sacrificing seeing things to be able to interact with people, which I feel like is something that's actually kind of awesome. And I would love to see a broadcaster have that as an option, but it's probably risky because it's like having a live stream chat in a way. But imagine if you could actually watch through, let's say for instance, Super Sport, and you could message and there'd be a live chat to the side. That would be quite a cool feature. I don't know if they'd ever do it, but maybe one day. And if they do, I have to say that I came up with the idea, even though I didn't. It's literally what we do on YouTube, minus the game. Question, if the Lions wins, who wins the South African Conference? Says Peter Williams. That is actually a very good question. I'll get the exact points at the moment. But yeah, I think this is one of the last games that involves South Africa versus South Africa, I believe. So in terms of the South African Conference, I believe that the Stormers would win if the Lions were victorious. If the Sharks win this game, they actually have to win it by quite a large margin or score the 4 tries. If they score 4 tries and win it, they will finish first. But at the moment, the Stormers are on 18 and the Sharks are on 14 points. This one's going to be a 5 meter scrum here. We've seen 36 tackles made by the Sharks, 40 by the Lions. And greetings, Hamish and all. See you, Sean. Welcome in, mate. Did you burn that guitar? I just gave up. It's in a storage unit at the moment. It goes extremely out of tune, and I don't know how to tune it. So I normally wait till Isaac's down, and then he will normally tune it for me. But yeah, I haven't been playing a lot of it. I could play the South African National Anthem not too badly at one point. I think we even played it for the Rugby World Cup final. Knock on from Lorenzo Julius. So that is the chance squandered. They will go back for the initial penalty advantage, so it's not the end of the world. I'd rather watch your commentary than watching the games. It's more fun and nail-biting, says Matthew. And thanks, JP, says Peter Williams. How many metres out are they? This one will once again be 5 metres from the try line. New Zealand has an uphill battle for tomorrow's final. And what is your prediction for the final? I'd love to see New Zealand win it, but India are definitely the favourites, and it's going to take an almighty game from the Black Caps to be able to get the job done. Let's go, Sharky. Howdy, Hamish, says Blues Nate. Welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Are they Lions 5? Yep, they are. So they're sitting on 5 points. Lions, on 7, I should say. 5 for the Sharks, the way that it currently sits. But now, another scrum feed for the Sharks side. If they score right now, not only will it give them the lead, more than likely going into half-time, but it will give them a lot of confidence reaching that second 40 minutes as well. Now, ball is fed in again. Referee has the scrum penalty advantage. Very close to the line for Francois Fenta. Grant Williams goes off to Khaleesi, and he will go through and score now for the Sharks, their second of the match. And like I said, if they win this game and they score 4 times, they will get that South African shield. So, it's a bit on the line in the second half. Let me know when you get it tuned up. Just need to have headphones off. Oh, it was brutal, wasn't it? Is Indian cricket still owned by Harry Styles' girlfriend? I don't know who that is. She owned the whole cricket. That's pretty huge, to be fair. Nice try from the Springboks veteran, Sia Khaleesi. Let's go the Sharks, says Lilia B. And Lol says one Pierre Bosch. Now 5 minutes left. And Jordan Hendricks, he's just saying, I don't see a timer, so let me know when I can kick it. And cheers, boss. Getting ready for Ireland and French across the road to the pubs. Cheers, Blues, Nate. Yeah, I imagine there's going to be a lot of pubs absolutely popping off, as the hip kids say. What do the older generation say when like a pub's going not crazy, but like, you know, there's a lot of people, there's an environment starting to build. What would you say that is? Like what's the cool phrase that the slightly before 2000s generation uses? Because I'm banging. Okay, so the pub's banging. Okay. Didn't sound cool when I said it, did it? But I'm sure it does when other people do. Nice tackle, mate. Sharks now sitting about 25 metres out from their line. A top beer sports you love, 1 to 5, says Dennis. We'll give that a go at half time, I would say. It's a vibe. Vibe's a good word. Vibes are one of those ones that you hear a lot in terms of like feeling vibes and like whatnot. It's rocking or pumping, says Arthur. Okay, so that's the second one that the pumping has come into. Wait, no, sorry. Was it the pumping? No, sorry. We've got pumping, banging, and rocking. Words that can be used to describe something else. Cooking. Probably not that word in terms of that other thing that I was saying, but yeah, it's cooking. Buzzing. Buzzing's a good one. I like it. The pub's bouncing. I'm going to have all these new phrases, I should say. If I go to the pub in the near future, I'm just going to sit down and there'll be like 5 people in here and I'll be like, this place is absolutely bouncing. And I'll probably get kicked out because they'll think that I'm not old enough. Don't go to the pubs in Australia. Their beers are nearly $16 for a schooner. As a Stormers fan, I'm rooting for the Lions. Here we need to restrict the Sharks to 4 points or less. Buzzing is the best. This place is absolutely buzzing like a beehive. That's what I'm going to say from now on. In South Africa, liquor vibe, says Ronnie. But now it's going to be kicked downfield from Jordan Hendricks. I see taken at the back by Mafura. 2.5 minutes left. Kicked high. Ooh, that one's skew-whiffed. That's gone backwards. But a great take from Morne Vandenberg. Off the hook, class. When Rugby On can't bath the crack up there. Can't bath the crack. Can't bath the... That's a new one, I have to say. €10 a pint in Dublin. Now going off to the right-hand side. Lorenzo Julius, nice step. Been a lot of meters made, like I mentioned, throughout this half. Ooh, he almost just did his knee. Lapis Labiskach knee. Now off to the left-hand side again. Vincent Koch. 2 minutes left. Hamish, tantalising. It's a Joel. I've never heard. Is that like when it's like you've got a little disco lady? So is that like when it's a dancing kind of vibe? That sounded cool, buzzing like a beehive, says Lilia B. Now, Pepsi Puta lazy, good shot on him. 7 phases in a row, and they have still got the penalty advantage. Grant Williams tries the little grubber. Oh, that's a no-look pass over the head from Jason Jenkins. The forwards keeping the ball alive here for the home side, and that's going to be another penalty advantage. Lions players leaving their feet. They will go right back. Lions, are you guys in the field? They are to a certain extent. Like, they've still got time to be able to get back into this contest. Still another 41 minutes left, and it looks like here the Sharks are going to take on the 3 points. This is not a bad decision because they are currently leading by 5. With this kick going over, it will take them right up to more than 5. It will move them to 8. Brain took a little bit longer. South Africa term, I suppose. Joel means a fun time, but also refers to a party, says Caitlin. Okay. So would you call a party a Joel? So like if I was, let's say, in South Africa, I'd be like, I'm going to this Joel? Or is that not how it's used? Let's finish strong, boys, says Martin. Chance here for Hendrickse. 15 seconds remaining of this first half. True that, says Juan Pierre Bosch. Yes, absolutely, says Caitlin. Okay, so I will have to remember that if I go to South Africa. I got Bryce, Joel's, and rugby games is about the 3, but that kick, wait, did he miss that? Yeah, he did, Hendrickse. It's slightly gone away to the right-hand side. That's a bad miss, and now it's going to be a 22 dropout. The Lions, wait, what have they done there? They've taken the tap, I believe, and then kicked that ball into touch. That's going to make the score at halftime 12 points to 7. Yep, going to a Joel, says Rhea. Oasis Hammy, says Spider Mech. Yeah, Bruce, says Arthur, and also Lecker, says Juan Pierre Bosch. Yeah, we've currently got 16% remaining. I do think that would be enough to get us right through the game, but I think that's also maybe a little bit optimistic. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the game, and we're going to turn it, it's called Jowl. Oh, okay, like here Jowl type thing. Or Jawl. Jawl, maybe? Possibly? New Zealand have a great chance. They have beaten India more times in ICC events, and they have never lost to India in an ICC final or T20 World Cup game, says Dawn of the Dead. And now, Sean, I appreciate his attempt. Jawl. Anyone who's just coming in now will just hear me repeatedly saying Joel. Joel. Maybe. Probably not. Terrible way, Hendricks, says Jimbo. Yeah, I thought it was just a stock standard 3 points. The man did miss it away to the side. That's the Irish bench. We don't need that yet. But here we go. Sharks bench for this contest. It is Fezembata, Ntutuku Machunu, and Handrod Jacobs. Kone Ral, James Fenter, Hatton, Jaden Hendrickse off the bench, and then Kunini as the number 23 for the Lions. They've got Marias, Norre, and Van Veeren, Delport, and Esterhuizen, Stein, Stennekamp, and Jonker as the 23. I should also mention for the future games for these two sides, ladies and gents, the Sharks, they have got Zebre in a couple weeks' time, and then Leinster in 3 time. That's going to be a very important game. Cardiff, they are playing the Lions in 13 days' time, and then 21 days' time, Glasgow versus the Lions. Big loss for Glasgow in last week's round, losing by 1.2. I believe it was the Ospreys, if I am correct there. We've got there, I thought Joel sounded like Joel, and got it, says one, so it's Joel. I've got to say it with my deep voice, which doesn't exist much. I usually watch the URC, or I don't usually watch the URC, but not much else on yet, says Dawn of the Dead. What channel are you watching the game on? I am watching on TG4 in Ireland, because originally I was going to be watching it with TVNZ here in New Zealand, but it's not on. So I've set myself to Ireland. I'm in Dublin at the moment, even though I'm in New Zealand, but it means that I can watch it through that one. I'm going to have to practice my Afrikaans slang to buy a farm so I can move to America, says Ghetto. And Jahal, like a werewolf. Jahal. Why did that sound like I was more Asian than Afrikaans for that one? And we have got the live rugby games, Volk clubs and the Bulls. You have a deep voice, says Lilia B. It sneaks in every once in a while. Normally I say it a lot closer. He was closer with how he said it initially. Okay, so I'm getting further away from the pronunciation. Either way, I'm going to a party is maybe what I should just tell people. And add a brew on the end just for fun. But this has been a close game so far. We'll see whether or not they have stats for it. Someone mentioned how it wasn't actually on the URC website, but I hopefully will be able to find it here. I should also mention, we mentioned about it earlier on, ladies and gents. We have the Kiwi Lads. Oh, what did I press there? The wrong button, I think. There we go. Kiwi Lads Instagram. For anyone who does want to follow us, we will one day post, and it will be probably underwhelming because it's been a good few years and we haven't posted yet. But when we do, be sure to be there. Where's the suit, Hamish? I should have it on, but I've gone for just the hoodie today. I could probably chuck on the top half. You pronounce it as you would pronounce jaw, just with an L on the end. Jawl. That was consistently said the same way 3 times in a row. So hopefully it wasn't absolutely awful. Yeah, I think this game was happening in about round 1 or so. So I think that's where it's a little bit harder to find it. Or maybe it was actually a round 10 fixture. No. Where's the match centre? We can't find it. Got it, says Caitlin. Perfect, says Anton. So thank you very much for the assistance. I'm sure it was very frustrating for a while for some of you guys. You must be a South African farmer to get an open gate in the USA. And correct enough, says RIP. I'll take it. Correct enough is ideal. But we have got there. I hope the Lions win as the Stormers. At least you'll get the South African Shield then, Shame. It's always super fun. Says Caitlin. How was it? Says Dwayne. Hey man, what's up? Hope you're doing well. I missed the first half. It was good overall. Like, I think that the Lions, maybe they'll be a bit disappointed to only have the 7 points on the board. But at the same time, I do think that they've still got, they're close enough in this game to be then able to extend and, get back into it. So anyone's game, I think, is the best way of describing it. Of course, we have still got 2 more games of the Six Nations taking place later on today as well, ladies and gentlemen. The next game for that one will be taking place in 1 hour and 3 minutes' time. We're going to be covering on the channel France versus Ireland. I believe I've got the suit and tie that could become available if we so desire. Maybe we should put it on. It's been a little while. The last time I wore it was to a wedding, although not the tie. I didn't wear the tie to the wedding. I went a little bit more low-key, as the hip children would say. Did you watch the draw game, mate? I did. I managed to cover the second half on the channel. I was still coming home from cricket for the first 40. But second 40, we managed to do on the channel, and I'm glad that I did because we got to see the big upset there. Massive moment for the draw. If there is there no Stormers game today? There is not, no. So the Stormers have already played their matches. This one's more of a catch-up contest so that everyone gets back to 12 games played. And then that's also the best indication for how the table sits at the end of this round. So like the Lions, they've been down a little bit lower than a lot of people expect, but then that's because they've had so many extra games up their sleeve. If the Sharks win this game and they win it with a bonus point, they will take the South African Shield. So there's a bit on the line there. We have got their standout players in the first half, please. I think Mathura from the back was pretty strong for the Lions. Also, in terms of the Sharks, I mean, they've had a lot of guys who have really seemed to step up. Someone like a Francois Fento, I think, has had a great first 40 minutes. Grant Williams has been handy enough. I need a Stormers game to top up my weekly drama levels. Here's Juan-Pierre Bosch. And we have got their Noteball Stormers resting. And last time in Dublin, walked into a pub full of New Zealand lads / girls. And they hammered us the day. Still great crack. Says Dennis. What was 4 letters? Sometimes 9, but never 5. Oh, sorry, what has 4 letters? Sometimes 9, but never 5. Well, I know that never has 5 and sometimes has 9. But I'm not sure about the 4 letters part. Oh, no, sorry. What does? Never mind. I got it in the end. The brain slowly kicked in. Chocolate gratin, says Danielle. I was going to do that thingy the other day, wasn't I? In terms of the Springbok player that I've stuck me head on. I still only have the one. So anyone who has seen it, which you will very quickly know whether you have or haven't. We've got my body, or sorry, not my body, it's certainly not, but we've got my head on a Springbok's body. And we're going to bring it back hopefully next week or the weekend after. But here we go. That's the general consensus of what it would be like. You might recognise the bloke. That's me. But do let me know, ladies and gents, who is that player? Some of you will know from the last time, but if you know, please be sure not to spoil it. But I do need to make about 5 of these guys. Joel rhymes with Maul. Joel. He's right, Danielle. It's not a question, just a statement. And we have got last time I went to a Sharks match, it was the Super 12 era. Walk past the stadium to the beach fairly often, and 5 plus 4 equals 9. I see what you did there, Grayton. What equals 4, sometimes 9, etc. And this is the last South Africa catch-up game. Everyone now on the same games played. So yeah, it makes a lot more sense moving forward. Unprecedented to me. Ish, says one Pierre Bosch. And great stuff, Sean. Says Grayton, dear Lindy or Jesse Creel. Not a mile off. He is considered as a back. He's got a nice watch too. I'm liking the camo. And go the Shark, says Abraham. I think I need to go to the gym a little bit more if I want to. And maybe get a bit of a tan if I want to get to that stage. Forey, best scrum half ever, says RIP for Joel Forey. Joel, I should say. I'm going to pretty much convince my brain that I know how to say it. Jesse Creel, it is not Jesse Creel. But that is the one that was the most popular to guess last time as well. Do you think, or who do you think will win the Six Nations this year? Honestly, it's Ireland's competition to lose, but I would not mind, with the exception of, of course, like Irish supporters. They would, of course, love to see their side secure the comp today, but I would love to see it go down to the last round. Kiwi can't wear a Bok jersey, which is why I didn't. I just stuck me head on. I know, says Lilia B. Nas Bota, says Albert. It is not. Current Springbok. See if anyone can get it. He is heading to South Africa in the near future too, to be able to play for one of these South African sides. So yeah, everyone's probably going to say Andre Pollard, but it is not. Second half of this contest won't be a mile away. I should probably load it back up. Pollard, says Dwayne. It is not Andre Pollard. He's tall. He's not really this guy that we are talking about. He's relatively short. Oops, I missed the button, but Nick, you are correct. It is Cobus Reinach. Do you think Jordan Hendricks should be the box Percy, which will free up Lebok if Fussy links him well with him? Or should Sanelli Nohamba be brought in? I think Rassi has plenty up his sleeve in terms of what his future plans are going to be. So, there's a chance that he looks to find a way of keeping Lebok in the starting lineup. There's also a chance that he's decided this year, no, I'm gonna take him out. Do you still got the Lions, says Kid? I do think the Lions still have a good chance here, to be honest. Yes, they're down by 5, but it could be a lot worse. Could be down by 8 points if Hendricks had got that kick over. Cobus, says Sean, and Cobus Reinhardt. And if Dan Carter played for the Springboks, he would have been used as a battering ram and would retire early, says RIP. And we have the Polly, says Sean. And there too. But second half, not that far away. Do let me know, ladies and gents, who do you think will win this game? Do you think the Sharks have got it? They're up by 5 at the moment, which 19 combo. Do you think works best together for the Sharks? I think that this combo honestly is doing very nicely. They've had a lot of pretty impressive running meters. Very random, but I just wanted to know what sabbatical is. Sabbatical pretty much is when you're still signed to a club, but you go to an overseas team to spend a bit of time. So almost like a football loan, I think is the best way of describing it. So likes of Geordie Barrett, he's on a sabbatical for Leinster, but he's still coming back to the Hurricanes afterwards, I think. Or at least he's still signed with New Zealand Rugby anyway. Sabbatical is what Chiefs Sean Stevenson did. Says Grayton. Yeah, still a beautiful day. But yeah, I think that Williams-Hendricks combo is doing the job at the moment for the Stormers. Or sorry, for the Sharks. Right, those are the benches. I was just trying to work out who it was that was just running onto the field. Oh, to be married. The bloke in the middle, he is a Lions supporter. Big congratulations to him. The crowd are getting behind him as well by the looks of it. Sabbatical is different for different countries. Says Albert. Yeah, it's going to be an intriguing second half. A lot of people in the stands for this contest. From near and far to see these two sides in action. And they will certainly need water, I would think. They're very happy to see themselves on the TV as well. The two sides have made their way back out onto the park. Are we going to keep Geordie here forever, lol? It's a break from your job to pursue a side quest, says Jimbo. Should mention we got 15% remaining. I managed to stall it a little bit. But for that first half, we used about 15%. So this might end up with the final minute of the game being unable to view it. I'd like to think we'd have enough juice left in the tank, though. Nice take from Lapis Labaskhachny. That was almost an accidental obstruction right from the get-go. The start of the second half. On one moment, I'm actually behind. 42 minutes in. I should have mentioned the Lions have got themselves the ball. I was confused at why that said 43, so I clicked the live button. And now we're a lot closer to where it actually is. So it was kicked downfield from Morne van den Berg. The Sharks in position 22 metres out from the line. Apologies, ladies and gents. This is my first time using TG4. That looked like a forward pass from Vincent Koch, and it was. So now it's going to be the scrum. Joel. I just put it together all the way from Durban, says Ian. Joel. I think I'm getting closer. So now I feel like I can now get invited to South African parties, perhaps. It's a break from your job to pursue a side quest, and Sharks can pull this game through. Exactly right. Like, they still have enough time on the clock. In fact, both of these sides do. Sharks still have a chance of getting that South African shield if they score 2 more tries, or else it will be the Stormers, who honestly will be pretty happy to receive it after some lackluster form over the last few months. Chiefs should play D-Mac at 10. One who's going to be given the 10 jersey for the All Blacks, Barrett. Finn from the Highlanders is like D-Mac, also the midfield. Continue with Jordan and Rico. It's a tricky one because the Geordie Barrett-Rico Ioane combo doesn't really work. Like, it has in the past, don't get me wrong, but at the moment it just seems to have something wrong with it. And I do think it is, unfortunately, Rico. Like, at least we saw him score in the most recent game for the Blues. It was his first try that he had got in about 2.5 years. And he did bring up the milestone 50, so maybe that will be the turning point. Stick him in the right direction now. Just showing the kids in the stands again. That kid has got a bucket hat with a scrum cap on top. It's a unique combination. We are just seeing that first half attack. Anytime the Sharks, like that was some beautiful hands from Sia Khaleesi, who also had a very strong first half. Dennis stopped relying on imports. Is Timothy eligible for the All Blacks? I believe he will be. Your feet is 30 seconds ahead of mine, and I live up the road from TG4. Here's Jimbo. Right. So we might be almost close to live then, if that's the case. Francois Fenta. Oh no, they're showing the replay of the try. My apologies. That's what happens when you don't have sound. It's going to be the scrum feed now. The Lions will put this ball into an unsteady scrum for both teams. But Frankie Horn has got it under control. Richard Creel goes across to Marius Lowe, looking for the chip in behind. This one's going to sit up nicely on the halfway line for Henry Immelman. Francois Fenta, that's great work in the breakdown from Marius Lowe. Manages to get the turnover. And now Morne van den Berg will clear the lines. Clear the Lions. It's a poor pun. I apologise. That one's gone into touch now for the Sharks. Jordan Hendricks are getting rid of it. And now it's going to be the line out for the Lions in a good attacking position again. They are still well and truly in this contest. A great steal on the breakdown from Marius Lowe. This is what they were doing last week, being able to get those big important moments. Turnovers conceded. We've seen 15 so far for the Lions in this game. compared to the 11 of the Sharks. So it has been a frantic back and forth between these two sides. I couldn't actually find when this game was scheduled to first initially happen. I was looking for the exact round so that we could give a bit of an update on it in terms of the stats, but it's a tricky one to find. I do think it was actually supposed to be in round 1 or 2, though. Yeah, there we go. It was actually supposed to be in round 1 for this game to take place, so we will be able to see some stats now. In terms of the running meters, have we got that anywhere? Most running meters, Morne van den Berg of 79, and then Yapinke had 60. And the Lions now in possession yet again. We saw 22 defenders beaten by the Sharks, or at least we have up to this stage. Now, Hamish, if we're 3 breaks out, I think we won't be on the same team, which is a bummer. Says RIP. And we have got the how's the weather in Durban? Looking extremely hot. If yours have YouTube Premium, how do you make money without adverts? Curious. I don't think I do. But I could be wrong. Honestly, I have no idea how the ad revenue side of things actually does work in terms of like YouTube Premium and all that type of thing. We just click live each week, and if we get paid at the end of the month, we just put it back into subscriptions and everything along those lines. Looks like Fezembata, not a mile off, making his way onto the field. The penalty does go the way of the Lions, and that is for Grant Williams being offside. And this is a pretty good position on the field. Showing that pace of Grant Williams. Put it into a trip to South Africa when it's less boiling. And then I'll be able to go to a jawl. Closer, wasn't it? Go to a jawl, go to a braai. And yeah, hopefully, if it's not when it's hot, hopefully it's not absolutely pouring down with rain. Ox to score the winning try. How much will we put on it? Honestly, like the big man, he might not be out there long enough. I think they will end up making the change and putting Untutuko Machunu. Oh, that's a good try there from Sia Khaleesi, though. And he will now get his second of the match. And hot, humid. But there is a bit of a breeze. Warm, not hot in Durban, but the humidity is 80+%. Says Albert, but that is a fantastic try from Sia Khaleesi that now brings up the third of the match. Jawl also means cheating. Does it? So if a party's good, it's called a jawl. But if what scenario? Like cheating is in like in a breakdown, or like cheating is in like, different person. Maybe that's why they say that the party's a jawl. I'm not sure. 4 weeks till my South African trip. I hope it's still cooking. Maybe have 4 days of sunlight in the last 2 months in Ireland, says Ghetto. And now Jordan Hendrickson, I'm familiar or unfamiliar with that version, says Caitlin. Oh, that's really not the best strike off the tee for Jordan Hendrickson. 10 points difference at the moment, though. 17 points to 7. And Sia Khaleesi, he's got 2 tries. Jawl in Afrikaans slang is having a jolly good time. Are you getting WWE 2K25? Probably not till it's like cheap and on special. The last game that I bought, I haven't played yet, and I bought it like 6 months ago. And then the game before that I bought, I think I played once. Other than Rugby 25, I played that quite a bit. We've got a career mode going on at the moment on the channel. Once they add a few more face scans of the South African players, we're going to be doing a bit more for the South African sides, and also maybe even a Springboks career mode. Has he missed all his kicks so far? I think he's got 1 over. If I'm correct, he actually got the very first one of the match. After a winter in Ireland, you can wrap a sheet of white paper around your leg, and it just looks like you shaved, says Ghetto. And damn, my eyes a bit blur, Hamish. Too much weed. What's the score now? Damn, I couldn't even spell score right. So currently the score is 17 points to 7. So 10 points difference. And well done, Sia, all him, says Jimbo. Girlfriend de-cheating, says Juan Pierre Bosch. A party and Joel, unfaithful. They are homophones or homographs, says Grayton. And they should do that for Cricket 26, says Kiwi Gamer. Now, Change has been made. Handro Jacobs. He will make his way on. Oh, the face scan. Says Kiwi Gamer. We got Danielle there with some... Is that a mermaid or a merman? We see Danielle earlier had the wave and the shark, but we're going to have to put this one up. What is that? That is a mermaid. She's got her tail on and everything, which I guess is the only way it is a mermaid. Now that I think about it, or else it's just a woman if she has legs going for a swim. When my friend came back from England, he shaved off his werewolf fur because of the heat. And the Joel conversation has overtaken the burger conversation as the most useless but epic conversations. There's one for your Bosch. They're now on the halfway line here, the Lions. Work towards the sideline, your Pinke. Going for the turnover, wasn't able to get it. Now back to the right, Lombard. Made an early change here too here, the Lions. I put money on the Lions, now my team is winning. That's proper karma, says Ghetto. And C has been in excellent form. He will retain his captaincy. Is Eben playing? Eben is not, but we're still having him in the thumbnails until he does play because we want to see him back. All rush defense from Jordan Hendricks. That leaves a gap on the outside for Richard Creel, who will cut inwards. Beautiful run and beautiful try for the Lions winger. They are now back in the game again. That seems to be the trend. Same thing happened in the first half. We see a try for the Sharks early, then the Lions come straight back. W says Kid. And sorry, I miscalculated the score. One conversion successful. Says Lilia B. And now a chance for the Lions to get back to that 3-point difference. Could be a big one. Evan is wrapped up in golden wool. There's Albert. Just seen here as well. The clean breaks 10-1 in that first half. So the Sharks getting maybe a little bit more credit. And then the Lions, Evan will just walk into the box lineup. It looks that way. But at the same time, you know, when you're the most capped Springbok of all time, you can probably walk into a lineup without too much grief from people. You know, if he only had, let's say, 10 caps, but he was in form before his injury, then maybe people would be a bit annoyed. Says it feels like 32 degrees. Is that hot in New Zealand? That would be very hot. Like for us today, I think we reached maybe, at times we almost reached 15 degrees. And I think I got a bit sunburned. But then it also rained. So that probably dropped it to like 10 degrees. Rassi will make him improve himself, says Ghetto. And come on the Lions from a Stormers fan, says Shaw. But that kick has missed away to the side, so that will keep the score at 17 points to 12. I thought I saw a real mermaid hammy. I saw the tail, but when I surfaced, it's a dolphin. Well, that's a big plot twist, isn't it? Was there more than one dolphin, or was it just by itself? Hopefully my childhood hero, John Cena. It's a good guy in 2000 or 2K25 WWE game. I'm awake, Hamish. So muggy, humid, already had a swim, says Danielle. And she to score anyone, says Toki. Yeah, they were going to be starting 18 minutes ago, weren't they? By the sounds of it. That ball has gone into touch. Hopefully someone in South Africa will know. Quick throw taken by Jordan Hendricks, giving it to himself. And a great low tackle made by Mathura. Almost a steal. But not quite. And Grayton, he's not in shape. He won't make the bench, says Ghetto. And great try. Heat doing a job on the defences. And yeah, just one more try needed for the Sharks if they do want to get themselves that bonus point. Which then would mean all they need is a win here and they would take the South African Shield. Kicked high from Grant Williams. You don't want the breeze to die down during load shedding. So here's RIP. It's going to be a mark called by Lombard. Even as training with the Sharks, says Lilia B. I don't get sunburnt, even when we're well into the 30s. Eat lots of fatty meats and butter, says Bruce. It is also a little bit depending on where you are in the world. Like here in New Zealand, the UV is extremely high because we're close to, I think it's the ozone or something. I don't know the technicality. But yeah, my feet got burnt to a crisp when we were fishing a while ago. That was up north as well, near the Coromandel. And my feet took like 3 weeks to become usable. You saw the flipper only to turn out to be a Sheehy in Long Beach. Says Juan Pierre Bosch. Now throw in for Fezambata. Both of these teams making quite a few early changes, and that is fair enough because of the heat that they are dealing with. Good low tackle made by Nalabakanye. Now Williams. Off to the left-hand side again. Corneral. He has made his way on for Emil van Heeren. He's down close to the equator, and Boland is 14-0 over the Cheetahs. I took an Irish bird to Cape Town, and her feet turned purple from the sunburn, says Ghetto. Yep, that's very relatable. Like, it was bad. Morning, Hamish, did you squeeze a nap in? I managed to get maybe like 30 minutes of sleep. So I guess that's a decent nap, some would say. But yeah, I kind of just lay in my bed going, I should be asleep. And then, of course, when you're doing that, you just don't get to sleep. Machuno to the Stormers, so scrummaging will improve. Says Grayton. And my Fickles protect me from the sun. And New Zealand close to the equator, says Spider-Mink. Now, line out throw here again for the Lions. We've only got 25 minutes remaining in this game, so there isn't a huge amount of time for these two sides. Oh, what a steal. I think that was just grabbed with one hand and pretty much held on to. So the Lions doing a great bit of work there. Beautiful offload on the inside to Lombard. At the moment, the way that it sits, oh no, he's giving the ball away to Immelman. 84% chance that the Sharks win this game according to the odds. Kicked him behind. Now claimed at the back for Mafura, who has had such a busy game, but he's been looking good. Oh, he's just been driven backwards in a massive shot from Lorenzo Julius. Now Morne Vandenberg going back across to the short side. Bit of a rough pass to Russ, who cleans it up and starts to charge forward again. Now Vandenberg going off to the left-hand side to Schoeman. Now we'll look for the box kick. Do let me know, ladies and gents, with 25 minutes left, who do you think will get the victory? Are you referring to Henry Immelman? I thought he was at the Bulls. He is now at the Sharks. He's playing in that 15 jersey for this contest. Hamish, is there another game after this? There are two matches of the Six Nations that we're going to be covering. The first of which, Ireland versus France, which is an absolutely massive game. And then after that, we've got the contest between Wales and Scotland. The pot is class, says Grayton. It's just going to be the drop ball there from the Lions. In fact, no, sorry, it was the drop ball. Just showing some of the highlights of the steals that we've seen. Is she fine, Juan? I married her, says Ghetto. I always cover myself while I'm because I'm white and protect me from melanoma, says Spider-Mink, and thank you, says Nikki. And Sharks probably will hold on, but would prefer Lions to make the comeback, says Bill. Now, we've got turnovers conceded, 31 in total across these two sides, which is, that's a lot. Like a very large amount. Oh, we're going to the TMO just because we haven't seen it in this match as of yet. What are they going to be checking here, I wonder? Hoping the Sharks take this, says Aniki. I'm hoping the TMO doesn't take too long. The iPad is on 8%, ladies and gentlemen. I think I should have got that charger, but I was optimistic and decided it would be all right. I was dominating territory and position at the moment. Possession is 58% in favour of the Sharks. Territory is 56% also in their favour. This might be a big decision. This could be a yellow card, maybe. Harry Potter movie. I'm back. Need to cool down. Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying that you got all hot from the Harry Potter movie. I was a bit confused. Oh, Sia Khaleesi shoulder to the head. A little bit unlucky in terms of where the players ended up. Hi, Ruth, says Matthew. I'd be disappointed if this is a yellow card, but I do think there is a chance that it could be. And we have got the I need my hair to protect my neck, but pay the price by looking like a bum, says RIP. Yeah, the Sharks are not too far ahead. Yeah, just checking this from multiple angles to see whether or not there is foul play from Sia Khaleesi. Man who's already scored himself 2 tries throughout this fixture. See, 10 minutes will help the Lions, says Grayton. But yeah, so the tackle is made, so then that changes the direction of the player. I honestly don't see much bad with that, but I also do think that they'll probably give it as a yellow. And mine, wandering, says Lilia B. And a soft yellow, says One Pierre. Yeah, it's either going to be like a stock standard penalty or it's going to be, like you said, a softer yellow. And Irish against the France or up against the French. Yep. going to be taking place very soon. Right, what is the decision? Yep, Khaleesi off the field. He's off the field because he got replaced by James Fenter. So I think it's just going to be the penalty in this case, which I feel is the right decision in this one. Tackle success is a little bit low for both of these sides. Just looking over, 71% for the Lions, 75% for the Sharks. They will take on the 3 points here, though, the Lions. So that's the thing. They don't have to win this game by a massive margin. They just have to win it. I hope France ends Ireland's streak. It'll be an interesting one because for the sake of the Six Nations, France winning would actually do a lot more for the competition. But for Ireland, of course, they want to just close it out today and accept the win. That one has gone over. That's going to make the score now 17 points to 15. And good decision, says Lilia B. Yeah, now 23 minutes remaining. Sharks still need one more try to get that bonus point. If they lose, maybe the sun will shine. Says Ghetto. And clean game, no card so far, says Spider Mickey. We were on the verge of one just before, but luckily did end up just as a penalty come on the line, says Kid. Now, Jordan Hendrickse kicks us off long. And Mac didn't start against England, right? I don't believe so. I think that was the game that they put Ramos as the 10. That one's going into touch, taken quickly by the Sharks. Immelman goes across infield to Jordan Hendrickse. Moves up to 40 metres out from the Lions line. Clean out from Jan or Handro Jacobs. And nicely taken by Morne van den Berg for the mark. He was banned for it. Said Jimbo. But now Morne van den Berg will be able to go for that 22 dropout. I know he had a red card from the Wales game, says Bill. And also we were there, people lip smacking their glasses of wine. I know that to do the wine tasting, you've got to move it around, don't you? Buzzing is often used in South Africa. Is Masuku on the bench? I don't believe so. I think they have got, it'll be Jaden Hendricks as the 22. I think they've actually gone with the 6-2 split. And then Kunini is already out there. So no Masuku. What time is the Ireland game, Hamish, says Michael. So it is kicking off in around 45 minutes time, but we are starting our stream in 33 minutes. So we're not going to have a massive break in between these two live streams as we've still got another 21 minutes remaining of this contest with a few stoppages along the way as well, of course. But now, Grant Williams going back across to the right-hand side. Hendrickse with a wide cutout pass. It's going to be the big man, Fizimbata, running down the wing. Grab it forward from your Pinke. Is it going to sit up? No, it sits up for Mafura. And 2:15 kickoff. Says Jimbo, sorry lads, but I feel France is going to pip Ireland today, and that is not a bad thing. Sometimes you learn more from a loss than a win, says Juan. Masuku and the injury and recovery list. I'm waiting for the French to give Ireland a tough contest, says Bokang. And yeah, I think the general consensus would be that I should put on the shirt for that one. At the end of the day, it is a massive matchup for those two sides. So yeah, we'll switch from the hoodie to a nice suit, or not so much the suit, but just the shirt and tie for the next one as well. Are you sure you're going to the dairy, Ruth? Says Spider Mick. Is Italy going to win, and by how much? I think they might struggle. You better have a quick snack before the next stream, Hamish. I don't know if I'll have... I might do if the rest of this game runs smoothly. I'd have about 10 minutes, so that doesn't give you a lot of leeway. As South African World Rankings #1 may be lost if Ireland win. Although I think no matter what, they do still keep that #1 spot, don't they? The Springboks. Against whom is Italy playing? They are playing England tomorrow. So we will be covering that one on the channel as well. We've seen no line-outs lost from the Lions. Normally when we mention that, that's when a team would lose one, but the Lions have retained it at the front of the line-out yet again. Now Morne van den Berg going to go across the right-hand side. What's up, Kiwi host and fellow chatters? Says Xander, welcome in. Ireland can't take #1, says Bill. Polishing the bar stools with your sexy ass. Hamish, that's what my cousin Anton said. Wait, sorry, Ruth. There's so much that you've just said that has to be dissected. Your cousin told you that you were... Wait. So your cousin said that you were going to polish the bar stools with your sexy ass? Is that what's going on? I may have to watch them, says Caitlin in there. Is that so that you see the suit and tie come out, Caitlin? And also, of course, for the great rugby that hopefully will be taking place. But 19 minutes left. Another change has been made. Kunini's actually gone back off. Not too sure what this injury is. Yeah, he's made his way from the field. That's absolutely why, says Caitlin. And Joel, Hamish, you're simply stunning again, says Ruth. And in my island hoodie on, and I'm thirsty, says Jimbo. And the Springboks deserve to defend their spot by actually playing, says RIP, which is why they do keep their number one spot. Did you laugh at the Proteas after we choked again? Not necessarily, because I do think that South Africa actually exposed a little bit of New Zealand's weakness, which was bowling under pressure. So I think that's actually going to help the Kiwis in the long run. Hamish, you do a lot of talking. Yeah. I sometimes get told that, and the more tired I get, the more talking I do, which is why these late night live streams, I don't shut up at all. That's going to be claimed by Jordan Hendrickse. Drop ball by Langsberg. Are we kissing? And telling G again. And the ABs will dethrone the box, says Jimbo. And we have got there, for now, Ireland can't get it. And when did Whitehorse Motors stop selling cars? No idea, to be honest. I know that they do like warrants and whatnot, I think, or registrations, but yeah, I don't know when they stopped selling cars. It's probably because it's just more of a hassle, isn't it? Having them out to the side. Yeah, Landsberg not happy about that. One of his first real mistakes in this match. It's a Joel, says Stefan. And DuPont is the man. Hope he plays well, says Matthew. Yeah, DuPont versus Jameson Gibson Park, which at one point two men that people felt were the best scrum halves. Can you do any accents? Not without sounding like I'm being offensive. I can do like Kermit the Frog, but that's not an accent. That's just like a voice, I guess. If you make South Africa Hamish, you definitely have to come visit the French Run pub in Cape Town, says Fleshton. Or a French Run pub. Interesting. What's the difference? Do they do any specialist French cuisine, or is it just the case of that's just who the owners are? Jimbo's son, you can only dethrone us with back-to-back World Cup trophies. Taking a fourth and a fifth. That's going to be kicked in behind and just goes dead. We have got there. The Lions are winning this one. Says massive, we'll call you, rather than the second half. 16 and a half minutes remaining. Lions, they're only 3 points down, so they've got a great chance here, and they have got themselves a penalty, which is a kickable 3. Hamish, would you eat medium rare pigeon? I would rather not. Joling Lecker on this channel chats. Says Juan. Oh, the Lions are going for the corner here. I wonder what brought that on. Because their last one, they went for the 3. Maybe it's because of the missed kick earlier on in the game. Maybe that's something. And also because of how strong this rolling maul was when they just tried to use it. So that might be the other factor. Perhaps trying to get the Sharks down to only having the 14 men on the field. I'd say that they're only 1 or 2 penalties away from having that situation. The Frenchies love their pigeon meat, says Xander. Now, big chance. Yeah, how far out from the Sharks try line? Probably about 7 metres or so. In fact, maybe even closer. They might only be that 5 metres out. You can name the team lineouts as Kermit won games. Is Kiwi Gamer. I think people would be utterly confused if that did take place. Only the ones who are on this stream would know what the go was. Now, nicely claimed. The Lions. Creeping that little bit closer. Irish Ghetto. I don't think World Cup victories applies to me, says Jimbo. Now this is very close towards the sideline, and they are over for another try here. It's going to be Franco Marias. What is the logic of playing a team twice in a row in international rugby, says Bokang? It's normally just because it's normally a tour, isn't it? So you'd see 2 or 3 games. In this case, we should mention for this game in particular, it was supposed to take place as round 1 fixture, but it did not. And now the Lions, they've taken the lead. A lot of romantic names. Hamish, if you had to make a call now, who do you think is going to win this game of Sharks and Lions? At halftime, I still picked that the Sharks had a good chance. And I do think they've had a little bit more momentum throughout the second half, and that is before that try was even scored. And yes, the try said Spider Mick and I, Hamish, who's your pick for the Champions Trophy cricket final. I think India, it's their game to lose. But I'd love to see New Zealand at least do well. But then if they're going to do well, they might as well win it. We're going to be covering a little bit of it on the channel when we are doing the England versus Italy game. The Dutch basically eradicate French, says Wenma, and yes, says Ghetto, and that kick has gone over. Or has it? No, it's missed away to the side. So it's going to be 20 points to 17. And Ireland versus France today, absolutely. Taking place in only around 40 minutes' time. We will be covering that game on the channel. Hang on, we've got a TMO review. The plot thickens. Come on, the Lions, says Ghetto. And try time for the Lions. Or is it? They're checking this one. And it may be reversed. Or we're down to 5% battery, ladies and gentlemen. We are sitting 5% with around 20 minutes to go. Maybe a bit less, actually. Maybe around 15 minutes. And Jordan's gonna go for the penalty. Says Grayton. And yeah, that is a good finish from the Lions. Getting slightly nervous about whether or not this battery is going to last. The nearest charging cable is way over there. Looks like it will be cancelled. And Google says win predictor 70% India and New Zealand 30%. Room for New Zealand to win. And need a penalty conversion now urgently, says Ghetto. Yeah, they are just checking this one for a little bit of obstruction here, I believe, at line out time. Whether or not anyone joined from an illegal position. Having a thorough investigation. Looks like my luck has ran out for the game as well. I wouldn't guarantee it. This one might be disallowed. And your Sharks team will still be right in it. Only the one try away from getting that bonus point win. I hope there's none, says Rayton. Yeah, they're thoroughly checking this one for the rolling maul. So that is the part of it that can be sometimes a little bit tough to judge. Right. This decision has been made by the referee. It looks like he is just calling over a couple players. No, it's going to be the try. And tuck and trail. Hamish, get the cable to charge. Why you want to live on the edge, says Xander. Oh, you know, we are down to 4% with 15 minutes remaining. The thing is, there's a big table here. So I'm wondering whether or not I can actually, reach from where I am. I don't think I would be able to. So what we're going to do, ladies and gents, is I'm going to quickly disconnect the hard drive because we're going to need that charging port. I'm going to have to crawl under this table unless I walk around, but you guys will be very confused with me in the background. That's going to be the try and conversion added, so 7 points right. I'm going to have to, I think I could reach that if I really throw myself over my table. Please do not look at my bottom because you might see it a little bit, but no, that's far too far. We're going to take the headset off. I'm actually going to have to fully get on the table, so don't mind me. I'm actually on it at the moment. We're just going to go here. Can I get that? Here we go. I just sat on the headphones. I put them there. My bad. But we got the cable, ladies and gentlemen. What a peach, says Bill. Right, we're going to plug that in. That was about as ungraceful as it could have been. I do apologise for the view, ladies and gents. Right. We charging? It says it's not charging. One moment. Please charge. Are the numbers of players on the field even? At the moment, they are, yes. Still 15 on 15. Right, we're charging, ladies and gentlemen. Toilet break? No, I was bending over my table. You're in socks and boxes. No, these are like shorts. They kind of, honestly, they are like swimming shorts. Just because they're comfy. Can't unsee that. I do apologise. Glad you're wearing pants, Hamish. Haven't got money for therapy. I'll get Rugby Anna show. Love your bottoms, says Ruth. Socks have holes. I think they do underneath, don't they? Oh, there's a big hole in that one. Right. We managed to get there, though. In the end, it was hard work, but we did it. Imagine someone did that on Super Sport. It would be an interesting one. And OMG, the Sharks probably said, screw this. We don't want to be in the top 8. A health and safety warning, says one Pierre Bosch. Yeah, now 13 minutes left, and we've got a scrum here, ladies and gents. Hang on, it's just said it's not charging. It's trying to set me up. It's trying to drain the battery. Right, it's charging now. Note now it's not charging. I'm going to need an extra connection for it to work. Now he's really blushing. At least you're not on the budgie smugglers. I could have been, but I decided against it. Now off the back, Jaden Hendricks, it goes to Jordan. And they're going to be a few meters out from the line now here for the Sharks, close to scoring, and he puts the ball down for Nick Hatton. And the Sharks now have their bonus point. I was bending over my table, the connotations, says Aneki, and that's why some of us tune in here. The ladies love that moment of inconvenience. It was certainly inconvenient for me, but I'm glad the viewers enjoyed, I guess. Now I need another connection. Ow, it was a funny bone. Has this got some charge? 2%, perfect. I got a power bank. We shoved that in there. And we're charging. We're good. We're not going to run out of battery today, ladies and gents. Breaking news, Streaker live on YouTube. The plot thickens, says Bill. But yeah, the Lions have now just conceded. Oh no, TMO review. Has it been dropped? Or is it going to be a try here for the Sharks to bring up their 4th? It's a good bit of effort there from Frankie Horn to try and stop him from scoring it. The ball was put down, it touched the white, and it is the try. And that's why some of us tune in here. Good for a laugh, says Bruce. If a calf is a baby, what is a baby calf? Just a calf, I assume. The groupies are not complaining, says Caitlin. And what is the score? Currently, the score is 22-22. So very close between these two sides. Only 11 minutes or so remaining. In Afrikaans, we say sexy gat. A gat, Hamish, says Ronnie. Is the TMO helping, or are people hating the TMO more, says Xander? I think people dislike the TMO quite a bit, to be fair. Oh, it's hit the post and bounced back out, so the score is now 22-22. This game is going to have plenty of late drama by the looks of it. I like how while in the process of trying to bend over my table, the viewership did go down quite drastically. I think some people probably went, nah, this channel's not for me. First bending and now no shoving. Says Aneki. And kick wide. Straight into the post. Which now means 11 minutes and it is absolutely all to play for here. Nicely taken by Jason Jenkins with some good acceleration off the mark too. Jaden Hendricks bending over Grant Williams, saying, you stay down there. I'm going to kick this one. Pinke chasing after it. He's had a busy day, but he's just taken a man out in the air and might end up with a yellow. No, it's just going to be a penalty in this case. I'm going to have to light the devil's lettuce under these circumstances, says Ghetto. We shouldn't have a TMO. That's an insult to a ref, says Spider Mick. But you never really jump for it. I don't know how your Pinke did not see Richard Creel going up for it. And I watched the game in 2003. TMO was only for tries. Imagine that, says RIP. And Gat. Is it Gat or Gart? Gart, maybe. And funny enough, when you bend over the table, your followers went from 60 to 62.4. I think you should bend more, says Xander. Bend more is a sentence of recommendation that I didn't think I would get today. I love you all. The beer gods are calling. Have a great day, says Jimbo. Now 10 minutes left. The Lions, they're going to have a little bit of an attacking chance. And Yapinke will go to the bin, ladies and gents. So he will be off for possibly the rest of this game, depending on how deep it goes in terms of when that last stoppage is. But he's got 9:53 remaining and he's got 70 and 30 on the clock. That's a knock on, though, from the Lions. The viewers at Left Hamish will be back soon. They just went to throw up, says Bruce. And we have got there, can anyone update the Cheetahs game score? Last I saw, they were 14-0 down. Hopefully someone's got some sort of future update, though. What do you think of the Bomb Squad? Extremely effective. Some great players there. Quagga Smith born to be off the bench, which sounds really weird and sounds like an insult, but it honestly isn't. In his case, Argeus Neyman, a little bit the same. Being able to really bring that extra oomph in the later stages of a game. Sharks have now got themselves the scrum feed here. Playing with 14 against the 15 of the Lions for the remaining 9 minutes. The Sharks on 14 men, says Ghetto. They certainly are. That was the last thing that they would have wanted. But it does mean if they can get the victory here, it will be just that little bit sweeter. Big scrum. And they have got themselves the penalty advantage. 19 points to 7 for Boland. Says Albert there. And draw good for South Africa. It would mean that the Stormers win the South African Shield. It would mean that the Lions go up a couple more rankings too, I believe. If we go here, there we go. That's the table. So the Lions, if it was going to be a draw, they would actually move right up into 7th, which would be their first time in the top 8 in quite some time. So big chance for them to make up some ground. Now Jordan Hendricks, he's going to be kicking this one towards the touchline. The question is the Lion going to sleep tonight? Maybe. Is Lorenzo playing? He had a really good first half, but then he's kind of disappeared a bit more in the second. For all I know, he might actually be off the field because I haven't really seen a huge amount of it. And Bulls number 3, says Ander. I feel my generational curse lifting, says Ghetto. Okay, then drawn for the Stormers, or draw for the good in the nation. And Lions need a try, says Toki. They certainly do. So do the Sharks. I would say next try wins in this match with the amount of time remaining. It puts it all on the line for these two teams. Now rolling maul here for the Sharks. It's going to be collapsing. It is legally. Little pop pass up to Untatuku Machunu. Someone mentioned earlier on. Oh, that's a really awkward one that his knee almost went the wrong way. Yeah, they mentioned how they felt like Oxenishare might have been the last minute try scorer. Perhaps Untatuku Machunu could do the same. Advantage now in favour of the Sharks. 7 minutes left on the clock. Jaden Hendrickse falls on his backside. And then a knock on from Corne Ral. But an easy 3. But Jaden Hendrickse goes for the quick tap. That is such a risky play. But the Lions want the try rather than the 3 points. Possession now still in their favour. Untatuku Machunu flattens out but just short of the try line. What a game from both teams. Says Matthew, absolutely. Both sides have been on their A game today at times, and huge meters made by both teams falling very close to the line. Referee says held up. So Jaden Hendrickse, that decision that he made, wanting to go for the 7 rather than the 3, means that his side is not in the lead at this current point in time. If it's a draw today, will they play extra time? They will not, no. Now goal line dropout. Chance here to run it forward for Jordan. I was about to say Hendrickse, but in fact it is going to be Henry Immelman running that one up. Now Hendrickse gets his hands on the ball. My generational trauma gave me personality and concentration problems, says RIP. What a game by both teams. And Lions need a try and go the Sharks, says Aniki. And Lebok, Feinberg, Ngume, Zulu, Willemse, Mattia. That would be your first choice 10. So you're not having Pollard in there by the looks of it. Right, this time the Sharks have got the penalty, and this time they have said, we're going to take the 3. He passed it straight into the Lions player. Now, some guys, or some referees wouldn't give that penalty to a side as they feel like it's the definition of milking it. But this ref says, that'll do. A draw is a boring outcome in sport. Test cricket has proven that, says Xander. That's why I'm drinking rugby will kill me. A draw here is a good result for me and the Scarlets. And also, I'll see you in France and Ireland, Hammy. Thanks for your time, everyone. Time for a short nap, says Spider Mick. Yeah, 5 minutes remaining of this one. It's going to be very close to the start of our next live stream. So hopefully we will have time to put on the suit and tie. Try and get all fancy looking for that next stream. That's Stormers 10, Amish. Says Winmar. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought you were talking about Springboks in general, but for the Stormers, oh, it's hit the post and it's gone over. Almost ended up missing it again. From pretty much straight out in front, Luckily for him, I think Labaskachny on the bench was just saying that's the second time he's done that. Stepped out for a moment and got the penalty. The Sharks did, so they are now leading 25 points to 22 here. Currently, the way that it sits, they would win the South African Shield. And they have got the position now. 4 minutes remaining in this contest. Jaden Hendrickse passes back across to the right. I do think if I didn't put that iPad on charge, it would have died by the end of this match. And of course, it was very last minute that we decided to use it, and it's worked pretty much flawlessly, which is terrific. Hendrickse kicking it downfield, not taken cleanly by Richard Creel, and it goes into touch. Are you keeping the same trousers for the next game, says Pie Man? I will leave just the shorts on, but of course I will wear other clothes as well, but the shirt and tie will come out with just shorts. But now you guys know that the top half, normally we try and look slightly business, but then the bottom half just chills. Damn, so no more bending. Not a lot more bending, I don't think. I think I'm all bent out for today. I held my tongue there. I could have tried to be smooth, but I did not. And we have got the Lions butchering this last 10 minutes, says Juan Pierre. We call trousers pants in South Africa. And also Lions, says Sean. Are you going to wear the suit for the URC final? Probably, I would say. Sia and the Sharks, says Mohamed. And my lucky charm, says Danielle. And the Lions, Ish. Yeah, not a lot of time left now on the clock. 3 minutes. It doesn't matter whether the side wins by 1 point or 50. Business at the top, party down below. Or you could say Joel down below. Could you? Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Now, line out throw, Fizimbata. Take a little while to get it in by the looks of it. Hamish, would starting an OnlyFans page affect this channel? Probably. I think we'd drop a lot of viewers, mainly because we're about 99% male for our viewership. Who has the ball at the moment? The Sharks do have it on around the halfway line, looking to get this rolling ball marching forward, and it does make around about 10 metres. Oh, and then it's knocked on. So the Lions now with a counter-attacking chance. Passed out wide to Edward van der Merwe, who once again has had a really quiet game with the exception of a few good moments early on. Hendrickse picks up the ball. Put under pressure from the Lions defence. How many minutes currently? Only 3 minutes remaining. It's okay to wear shorts on stream, but why the pink cheese string though, Sander? It's just chills. What exactly chills? Please elaborate. Now, ball once again on the side of the Lions. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. That's a knee or an ankle or something there by the looks of it. Yeah, he's not looking good at the moment, the Lions play, although, is he going to get up? Yeah, he does. Done extremely well here, Rene Adionka. Looked like it was going to be a lot worse. We have got their OnlyFans channel with a rugby theme. Says Wemma. It's almost 4 p.m. for the other game, says Mohadeen. And yeah, we're going to be pretty much going straight over to that next live stream. Oh, we might get like a minute or two's break in between to just refill. Although the water bottle's not looking too bad, so we probably won't have to fill it up. And happy International Women's Day, says Lilia B. Shout out to our 1% of female viewers on the channel. It's always great to have you here. And halftime bowling 19 to the 12 of the Cheetahs. Come on the Sharks, says Ben. Do you call crisps chips like we do? No, I just call them chips. But then it can be confusing if you say you want chips and you don't know whether they're talking about hot chips or fries, as some would call them, or whether they're talking about chips or crisps, you know? And Liquor Sharks. And also, how far out of the Lions? They will be about 15 metres from the line. So close enough, but they don't have the scrum feed. In this case, it's going to be the Sharks who have got the ball. 2 minutes left on the clock now. Not a lot of time remaining for that last minute steal. What time is it where you are? It is currently 2:55 a.m. So it's a slightly late night, but we have still got 2 more games that we are going to be covering just around the corner, one of which is that Six Nations fixture between France and Ireland. That is a massive game. Hendrickse goes off short. It looks like the Sharks are trying to hold on to this ball for 1:30, but that might be too much time. That is a really bad clean out on Riniard Jonker, and I think his knee is completely gone now, unfortunately. I don't think he's going to be continuing in this match. And cheers for the stream. Says, Ghetto, nice cheaters, come on the Lions. I got the donation from Ghetto Greek. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. I believe that's a euro symbol. I think. He's trying to make his way back to his feet, but he is really struggling to do so. The Lions are going to hang on to this ball without taking it quickly. Now just the 1 minute remaining on the clock. 45 seconds if we're being exact. And the time is still ticking away. No chips are not crisps. There's a huge difference. Says Fleshin. Is there? We have like kettle cut chips. That's probably the equivalent closer to crisps that you guys have a little bit. Maybe. Are the Lions in possession? They will have the ball here, or at least they will have the line out throw in this case. They do need one more try to get themselves a bonus point, and that would also get them the win. Where are they on the field? They're about 40 meters out, and it's going to be overthrown, but it sits up nicely for the Lions. Right, they'll have a big decision to make soon. If they get themselves a penalty advantage, do they go for the 3 to take the draw, or penalty to the Sharks? That might just about secure this game. Six Nations is starting shortly. It certainly is, but that is a massive steal for the Sharks in a very crucial moment in the contest. And now just 7 seconds left on the clock. I believe the plan will be to just take the tap, kick it into touch, and claim the South African shield. They'll just get a quick time check here. Hendrickse takes the tap, boots the ball out, and the Sharks, after losing last week in relatively poor fashion, have fought back well here to get themselves a big victory over the Lions. Can the Lions go for the Bolts? They cannot, because it was a Sharks penalty. Let's go the Sharks, says Lilia B. And there's Sharks winning, the South African Shield winners. And Yeet says a Blues Nate there too. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We are going to be back in only about 3 minutes' time with the Six Nations fixture that has taken place between France and Ireland. So if you do want to check that out, of course, be sure to do so. But I've got a quick fire 3 minutes to try and change into a suit and tie, so we'll see how that goes. We might be starting about a minute late for that other one, but I do thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.